everyone, as I promised, here is another way to explain the past tense to you. So if you didn't understand on Thursday or last week, then this is another way for you to try and get your head around and understand the past tense in French. So I call it diving into the past tense, and I want you to think of the past tense that you dive into it. So here we've got the diving boards, okay? So in French, you dive into the past tense, and there are two diving boards. Today, we're going to be diving off the avoir diving board. Okay, that's up here. Lesson 3, we'll be diving off the être diving board, which is a little bit lower, the shorter diving board down here. All right, now think of it this way. Step 1, you have to decide which diving board you're going to. Okay, right, today we're going off the avoir diving board. Step 2, we have to choose who is diving off. So the person who is diving off is the pronoun, the I, you, he or she, they, we, whichever it is, okay? So that's step 2. Step 3, you have to decide the correct form of avoir to match the person who is diving off. Okay, so look, these are the different parts, okay, of the verb avoir. So step 1, remember, choose your diving board, avoir or être. We know that today is avoir. Step 2, choose who is the person diving off. And then step 3 is where we're at here. We have to decide on the correct form of avoir, and that has to match the person diving off. Okay, so if it's we, that's nous, so it's nous avons. It can't be nous avez or nous on. That's wrong. So the correct part of avoir that goes with the pronoun. And then we've got step 4, choose the correct verb ending you are going to dive into. All right, so this is how I explain it. So with ER verbs, when you dive in, you knock the ER off and you replace it with an E accent as you return to the surface. Look, you're diving in, wee, there we go, ER verbs, and we're into the water and it turns into an E accent. Next up, we have the RE verbs, those verbs that end in RE. And when you dive in, you knock off the RE and you replace it with a U as you return to the surface. You getting it? Yeah? Okay, then you've got the IR verbs, verbs that end in IR. And as you dive in, you knock off the IR, and as you return to the surface, it's an I. So those are the 4 simple steps. I'll go over it again. Step 1, choose your diving board. Step 2, who is the person that's diving off the diving board? Step 3, you've got to choose the correct part of avoir to go with the pronoun. And if you remember, I've written a song to help you remember all the different parts of avoir. And then step 4, look at that full verb, look at the infinitive. What's the ending? Is it ER, RE or IR? Okay, and once you've decided on that, you know which one you're diving into. Let's give you a few examples. Okay, so you've got to translate I played. So we know today we're talking about the verb avoir, so we're going to the avoir diving board. All right, that's where we're at. Step 2, can you remember what step 2 was? Yep, that's right, choosing who is diving off. Who is the person? Okay, je, because it's I, the example down here is I, so we're going for je. Now we need to remember when it goes with avoir, that first bit, it becomes with a J apostrophe, doesn't it? Because we've got an E on the end of je and an AI, which is the part of avoir, okay? And we've got a vowel clash there, a vowel clash. Okay, so step 3, decide the correct form of avoir. For who is diving off, we've got the A and the I, that's je we've got. Okay, the next one is look at that infinitive, the verb that you need, find it, look at it. What's the ending on it? Is it ER, RE or IR? Boom, it's jouer and it's an ER. So we know we're going to be diving into the ER part of the pool, the swimming pool, okay? So your answer is going to be, what's it going to be? Can you work it out? 3, 2, 1, boom, j'ai joué, okay? Hope you're getting this. Hope you're getting this. Right. Next up, let's try a different one. I'll go over it again for you. So I sold. So you know that you need the full verb to sell. That's the starting point. It's vendre. Okay. So we know that we're diving off the avoir diving board. So up we go. Up to the top of the avoir diving board. Right. Step 2. Who are we jumping off with? Who are we diving off with? Again, it's I, so it's je. Remember, the next part of avoir is an AI, so we've got to take the E off je because we can't have that vowel clash. The correct part of avoir that goes with je is AI, okay, like I explained. Can you see the A and the I there at the top? Okay, we know that there would normally be an E on the end of je, okay, but we can't have two vowels at the end of one word at the start of another. We've got vowel clash, okay? Are we following this? So we know that the verb that we've got, okay, is vendre. Look, it's there, it's RE, so we know we're going to be diving into the RE part of the swimming pool. Okay, so RE takes the RE off and it becomes U as we come to the surface. So what is the answer for I sold? 3, 2, 1. Boom, j'ai vendu. J'ai vendu. Try and repeat that as well and get your pronunciation. J'ai vendu. Okay, last example. Again, remember those 4 steps. Step 1, what are we doing? Correct, choosing the diving board, okay? We know we're jumping off the avoir diving board because I haven't told you otherwise. Lesson 3 will be choosing the other diving board, but we'll come to that later, okay? What's step 2? Yep, correct. We're choosing who we are diving off with. That could be well, we know it's I down here, so it's je. If it was we finished, we know that we'd have to choose the nous. Okay, so with je, I've explained that again, why we've got an apostrophe there. Can you remember why? Vowel clash, well done. Step 3, okay, decide that part of avoir that goes with I, and it is j'ai. Okay, so finished. We need to work backwards and get to the full verb for to finish. Can you remember what it is? Finir, okay? All right, so it's finir. And so now we know when we're looking down at the top of that swimming pool, at the diving board into the swimming pool, we're looking down where we need to dive into, and we're going to dive into the IR part of our swimming pool, and we're going to come to the surface with the IR off, and it's now an I. So how do we say I finished? Give me your answer in 3, 2, and 1. J'ai fini, okay? And on that bombshell, j'ai fini, I finished. That's how I explain the past tense to my pupils sometimes. Visualize yourself, climb to the top of the diving board, of the avoir diving board, who you're diving off with, what's the full verb, okay? And where are you diving to into the swimming pool, okay? You can watch this video over and over again until you've got it, but this is it. Merci, thank you, j'ai fini, I've finished.